This is a walkthrough for the Fragments program that I designed for the Workshop System computer module. Fragments is a 6-slot sampler and sequencer designed to capture fragments of sound and then recontextualize them by playing them back. You can fill it with drum samples, making a drum machine. It was inspired by wave sequencing from the Korg wave state, a similar idea. But let me walk you through the controls before we get into it. The Z-switch controls the functionality of the knobs. So when the Z-switch is up, the main knob is going to select which sample slot you are recording to, and affecting with these two knobs, which control kind of the settings of the samples. The X knob controls what the playback mode of that sample slot will be, whether loops or one-shots or interrupts or passes through audio. You change that by turning it clockwise. So this is going to be looping, one-shot, interrupt, and pass-through. The Y knob controls the probability of that sample slot playing back in reverse. If I move the Z knob to the middle position, now the main knob is going to control the selection of patterns. So I have some built-in patterns here that will play through these slots in different orders, starting with shorter patterns here on the left, and as I move it clockwise, they kind of become longer. But those patterns can be changed and updated through a CSV file that you can configure, or you can save and upload via the web editor. And the X knob then controls the offset of our pattern. So in a single slot pattern that is playing back, slot 1, as I turn this, it's going to go to slot 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that shifts the whole pattern. And then the Y knob is a step repeat function that will, instead of triggering the sample once per clock division, it will trigger it 2 times, 4 times, and 8 times. So you can create kind of like ratchets, and it's kind of a fun performative effect. Then we have 2 audio inputs, 2 audio outputs. CVs in 1 and 2 control the X and Y knobs. The CV outputs are random voltages that can be quantized in different ways with the web editor. You have a clock input, a sample input, so this triggers the sampling, and then 2 pulse outputs. This one will output a pulse at every step, and this one will output a pulse at the beginning of each pattern. So that can be useful for various things. So let me just go through the basic functionality. Here I have the chompy going into the stereo input and coming into inputs 1 and 2. So in order to sample, I need to select which slot I want to sample to. So I'm going to start with 1. And I'm going to just blip a little sample. Okay. Now slot 2, we're going to do a different sample. Slot 3, let's find another one that we like. Slot 3, let's do slot 3 here. Okay. So now we've populated our samples. I want them to just loop for now. That's fine. You can hear the sample is looping. So here's each one of our slots. Now if I engage, I have this first slopes generator going to the clock input. So if I engage this, you'll start to hear it playing back at the rate of the clock. Now let's select some different patterns. Maybe not the most musical example, but gets the job done. Here's the step repeat function. All right, in order to clear the samples, I can hold down the Z switch and you'll see it flash, and then I flick it once and that clears our sample buffers. If I click it twice after that function, it will save the samples into the RAM. The other thing I didn't mention is that a quick one-shot flick of the Z switch down will reset to the first step of the pattern. All right, so the only other thing that I need to show you now is the alternate mode, which is a lot of fun. So if you hold down the Z switch and reboot your card, you'll see this flash. That indicates that we are now in the alternate mode. And the alternate mode, instead of having 6 different samples, we have one sample that plays back 6 different ways. So I'm going to capture a sample again. All right, so I've captured that sample. I don't know if this will sound good or not, but let's get the clock going and see what happens. So you can hear that each slot is doing something different. Slot 1 is going to play back at normal speed. Slot 2 will play back at 2 times speed. Slot 3 plays back at 1.5 or 2.5 times speed, so an octave and a fifth up. Then we have slot 4 doing reverse playback, slot 5 doing reverse and up an octave, and slot 6 doing down an octave. If I record something a little more melodic, it might be easier to hear. So now the functionality changes in the up position because we don't have slots to select anymore. The main knob now controls the playback pitch of those samples. So we can go down 2 octaves or up 2 octaves, and in the center, it's going to be normal speed. So that's the Fragments card. It's a lot of fun. I'd love to hear any feedback, anything that you think it could be improved by doing. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it, but maybe through the power of robots, we can make it happen. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you check it out. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions.